Welcome to Stuff They Didn't Teach Me in Sunday School. There's that music again. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The theme music for Solomon's reign. Last week we looked at a little bit of the ugly, mostly the good in Solomon's reign. This time we're going to look at the bad. And there is a bad side. It begins with Solomon's marriages. We're told that Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Now, concubine is a wife without the wifely benefits of inheritance and all that. Her children will not inherit the same as the children of a wife would inherit. At any rate, he had 1,000 women in his harem. Now, some of those marriages were probably political alliances. There were some that he maybe never even saw the wives or saw once. But the fact is, he married many women. Now, that by itself might be a problem. But the bigger problem was because many of these marriages were with foreign daughters of foreign kings and that kind of thing, that they imported their gods into the worship life of Israel. And Solomon's heart was turned away from Yahweh and toward these gods of the other nations. Let me say that again. Solomon's heart was turned away from Yahweh and toward the gods of these other nations. That, folks, is a big problem. Solomon is there to lead the people, to be God's prince, Yahweh's agent in the leadership of this nation. And instead, Solomon, toward the end of his life, is leading the people away from the worship of Yahweh. That's part of the bad. There's another part of the bad and the ugly to Solomon's reign. We talked last time about his building projects and the magnificent temple he built, and the probably even more magnificent palace he built for himself, and the palace he built for the Pharaoh's daughter. Those cost money. And he got the money by taxation. Now, taxation in and of itself isn't bad, but when you look at how the taxation was handled, some questions are raised. The South had one tax collector. The North had 10. Don't you wonder where most of the taxes came from? Another factor was that in order to carry out the building projects, he needed more cash than just the taxation could raise. So he began to sell off chunks of the Promised Land, chunks of the nation of Israel. And the chunks he sold off were in the north, not in the south. Possibly because the value was greater in the north, but also possibly because Solomon himself was from the tribe of Judah in the south. The end of his reign, the end of his career, is setting up a division in a nation that will never be healed. And we will look at that division next time.